Welcome everybody, Film Fan 108 here, and I have a question for you guys. Now, do you miss video rental stores? Do you miss talking to the video store employees about recommendations that they have? Do you miss going in and checking out the cool artwork and all of the weird and oddball releases you want to rent? Do you miss talking to complete strangers about movies and making friendships that you never thought you would make? Video store rentals are really cool. I used to love them back in the day. There used to be a ton of them, guys. But the thing about it now is that a lot of them have went the way of the dinosaur. A lot of them are no longer around, and unfortunately, to this day, there's not many left to really pick from, and you may not even have any in your area. Thankfully, I have one in my area here that's still around and thriving to this day. I want to go in and check it out for you guys, and that place is none other than Family Video, guys. Family Video is still around to this day and still thriving. They're still doing big business. As a video rental store, a lot of places have gone the way of the dinosaur, but they are surviving. So welcome to Video Store Confessionals. Let's go in and relive the glory days. Oh, wonderful world of the video rental store, guys. Oh, all right. Let's check out the wonders, shall we? Guys, one of the things I love about video rental stores, and really it can't be beat really through Netflix or anything like that, is the original cover art. Now, the original cover art is amazing, and you can just spend hours at a video rental store just literally looking at all the really cool and wonderful and original cover art, because sometimes a lot of these, even these studios that release these movies, unfortunately they don't even do the original cover art either. So you find a lot of this stuff through video rental stores, which is really, really cool. I was looking here, like, the postman always rings twice. That's an awesome cover art right there. I was looking at old school stuff like Pretty in Pink here, which looks amazing here. Of course, the original Porky's art, which is really fantastic. Other really cool art that I'm noticing here, man, there's some really fantastic art here. The Fatal Attraction artwork, which is amazing here. There's some really cool stuff. The old school, like, Friday the 13th covers here, which is absolutely amazing. Yeah, you can't beat looking at original cover art, and if you definitely want to look at it, video rental stores are one of the only places that you really can, guys. You know what, guys? The other thing I was really thinking about as well was the fact that a lot of these older titles are really great to find here at video rental stores as well, because sometimes they're not on streaming as well. Some of these titles, if they're on streaming, they only last for a certain time and then they're done, or if your computer ends up somehow biting the dust, of course you don't have it anymore. And it's just really, really great to see stuff that I hadn't seen in a long time. And coming into a video rental store, you can still, wow, you can find those old gems that you've never really experienced or haven't seen in a really long time. I mean, I was just looking at some of these guys, and it was like a blast from the past. Whether we're talking about something like Uncle Buck, hadn't seen Uncle Buck in a really long time. To see stuff like that. This one with Jeff Bridges, White Squall, hadn't seen that in a long time. While You Were Sleeping, great romantic comedy, hadn't seen that. I mean, there's so many ones that are really, really cool here. Let me know actually what kind of titles you love. Not only that, but let me know if there's certain titles that you find at video rental stores that you can't find elsewhere, like a Netflix, like a Hulu, stuff like that. Again, there's so many really great titles to explore here. Spies Like Us, great title as well. I mean, again, so many really, really cool ones that I love. Again, I hadn't seen stuff in a really long time. It's just really, really fun to sort of check out all these titles and check out all the variety that these rental stores have, because sometimes, even on the digital platforms, The variety sometimes is not that great, guys. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Variety, unfortunately, is going the way of the dinosaur. Video rental stores are one of the only places that really give you a ton of variety for your money. It is worth it, guys. Trust me. The great thing about coming into these video rental stores that I really do love, guys, is not only seeing all the stuff that got released for the week, which, I mean, come on, is also really cool, but you end up finding things that you didn't even know was out there. Like this one, Soft Matter. I love the cover. The cover looks awesome. I have no idea what it's about. I know nothing about it, but it looks really weird and interesting and right up my alley. I didn't know this existed. I didn't know this existed until today. I had no idea that. Sunset Society with Lemmy, again, didn't know it existed until today. And you don't know until you go into these video rental stores and just walk around and spend hours just looking at things and just finding stuff that works for you. You like horror, you like romantic comedy, you like thrillers, whatever. They got it all, stuff that you've never seen before. And sometimes on Netflix, you can't really get that all the time. Look, I love Netflix. You guys know this, but there's something about being here physically in a rental store, looking at the cool covers, looking at everything, and just experiencing it, taking it in. That's becoming it's becoming a lost experience now. And unfortunately, you got a lot of these younger generations which are not going to understand what you and I understand. They're not going to understand the idea of going into a video rental store and experiencing stuff and just spending hours upon hours, day after day, looking at stuff and talking with people and experiencing movies that you've never seen before and just taking in the experience. They're not going to understand that, guys, and that's a shame to me. I feel like it's becoming a lost art, and I really do think that that's why I hope that if I have kids, if you out there have kids, try to get them into this experience of going to these video rental places to really get them into this kind of culture, because it is worth it. I don't want digital to overtake everything. I still want the physical media to stay, and I hope you guys agree with me. I'm noticing, guys, is I'm noticing that they have these very washed out sort of like covers here. Like I don't know if you can look at that, like Mr. Nanny, like very washed out, almost like a bootleg cover. Um, they do have some of these, like this bootleg cover for My Giant right here, very bootlegish cover. Um, they have a few of them, and like here, like look who's talking to, very bootlegish cover here. And I can only imagine that maybe they aren't able to get the actual art sometimes, and I don't know if that's every store or just this one. I think it might be just a thing of like they can't get the cover art, so it's like one of those deals. But it's like really weird and very washed out look in some of these. Maybe because another thing is because if you look, the actual light is coming from this way, so it's actually affecting the art. It's actually like starting to wash it out and almost look like it's sort of like um, almost like white. It's really weird. Like over in this section, the light isn't hitting it as much, so you don't really have as much of um, a washed out look to it. It's really weird, really bizarre, but sometimes you'll still find some really washed out art here and some really like weird bootleg stuff. Like down here, you'll see like some really like this one here for like the Wizards. Really sort of washed out look here. Um, like that's a very washed out cover right there. Very weird and washed out covers, but again, they're unique movies, and so you're in a video rental store. You're not going to get brand new covers, guys. You guys know that, but it still is pretty cool to check some of these movies out, even if it's washed out covers or not. I still appreciate spending hours just checking this stuff out, like The Wiz. Now, of course, guys, when you're at any movie place or video rental store, you can't go without candy, right? And I got a bunch of candy here. This ginormous gummy bear. Really? Wow, that is ridiculous. You've got other things in here that, man, you know, when I was a kid, we never had any of this stuff, swear to God. Talk about selection up the wazoo here. Dr. Pepper cotton candy. Okay, I'm down for it, I guess. I mean, regular cotton candy would do for me, but sure, whatever. Paintball pops. Okay. You know, all this weird stuff nowadays, man. I love it. It's kind of cool. You know, it brings me back to being a kid, but man, talk about rotting your teeth out. And I didn't know that Deadpool promoted trolleys. You know, things you learn. You know, guys, as I'm looking around here, it does get me very nostalgic, and the idea that not many of these places are left. Family Video is doing very well for themselves, but you look at something like a Blockbuster, and there is only one Blockbuster left in the entire North America. That is absolutely ridiculous. I used to go to Blockbuster back when I was younger, numerous amounts of times. I used to go to Hollywood Video, Video King. I used to go to all these places, and now they're gone. I mean, it's gone, it's dying, and I do feel like these places that are left, I feel like they are going to survive. I feel like they're gonna stick around, because the ones that have left, they're gone. These ones now are sort of the ones that are surviving and staying around and sticking around, whether it's Family Video here or some of the independent ones that may be in your area. But, you know, look, with Netflix, with Hulu, with Redbox, it has gotten difficult. It's gotten difficult with a lot of these stores competing, and they've had to do things to keep themselves afloat. But at the end of the day, I'm glad that they're still around. I'm glad these places still exist, because I'm able to enjoy them, you guys are able to enjoy them, and hopefully future generations can still enjoy this experience as well, guys. Alright guys, I am back from going into Family Video, and I did end up picking up Soft Matter. I did. I'm kind of really excited to check it out. I've never heard of it, so, you know, interesting one to give it a look. And I just really want to say how much I really love going into these video store places, these video rentals. They're really awesome, and I just love looking at all the artwork and all the older titles, and I could literally spend hours there, guys. I really honestly could. And even though the employee was not able to talk to me on camera, he did say to me that what differs Family Video from, let's say, a place like Blockbuster, which is going out of business fast and will be non-existent soon, is that Family Video actually buys the property that they put their stores on. So basically, any Family Video in your area or anywhere in the country, they end up basically owning the property that they are on. So they don't have to give rent to anybody, they don't have to do anything, they own it outright. Whereas with Blockbuster never owned any of the spaces that they ended up putting their stores on. So the employee told me that basically when the housing crisis happened and a lot of things was going on with properties and rental spaces and everything like that, basically Family Video never had to worry about any of that stuff. They were already covered. So honestly, it was very fascinating, and basically they have a very low overhead, so they don't have to worry about a lot of the things that basically something like Blockbuster had to worry about. And the employee also told me that Family Video does not really worry about things like Netflix, because they feel like Netflix is in a lot of ways doing their own services now, doing a lot of original programming, and so they're not getting a lot of the newer titles or the older titles that places like Family Video are getting. So in some ways, going to the video store is a better option than something like Netflix, where you're not going to find those titles there, you're going to find them here at the video rental store. So there is an advantage there. So overall, I understand where they're coming from. I get it. And I think Family Video overall has been a very clever company. It is definitely worth it to keep these stores around. And I feel like if we're gonna keep these stores around, then there needs to be more support for them. And I hope you guys go to your local video rental store and support them. Even if it's only going to get one title every few weeks, at least you're going to support them, and that's what really matters. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think about the video, what you think about rental stores. I would love to hear your opinions. Also, catch me on Twitter and Facebook, FilmFan108. I am also on Instagram, FilmFan108 as well. And thank you for the wonderful support from all of my subscribers, everyone who watches the videos. I appreciate you all so much. And if you're not part of the channel and want to be a part of the Film Fan Nation, definitely subscribe and be a part of it. Alright guys, I will see you back next time for another Video Store Confessionals. Take care.